Welcome everyone to my new video on planet Rahu in the 9th house. We all know that Rahu is a very malefic planet, so its presence here in one of the most beneficial houses is going to cause some kind of difficulties for sure. So I am sure you all must be very excited to know what kind of results we can expect from one of the most malefic planets like Rahu in the 9th house. So today I will talk about that. So friends, first of all, we all know that Rahu, being a malefic planet, is associated with suspicion, with doubts, with bad name, with foreign lands, with foreigners, with technology, and Rahu also gives you lots of shrewdness. Rahu, wherever it is going to sit, is going to cause some kind of distance or some kind of lack of warmth from that relationship. Rahu is also a karmic planet, so wherever it is sitting, it means you have a karmic connection with that house, with the things associated with that house. So we all know that the 9th house is the house of our father. This is the house of our gurus. This is the house of our bosses. So it means you do have a past life connection with your father, or with your gurus, or with your bosses. Now Rahu is also a foreigner, so it means that you can have foreigner bosses. These days it is quite possible because every country has got multinational companies. So there is a huge possibility that your immediate boss could be a foreigner. If you happen to have a boss who belongs to the same origin as you, in that case Rahu can give you some kind of difficulties with respect to your bosses, because Rahu is also associated with want of happiness. So it means that there could be some issues in the understanding with your bosses, and you would always feel that no matter how hard I work, my boss always seems to be upset with me. Friends, when you are looking at this combination, you should always make sure that if there is a benefic aspect falling on your 9th house, or if there is a benefic planet sitting in the 9th house, in that case the results are not that bad. There would be some kind of happiness or some kind of comfort that would come from some different end. So you have to look for some benefic association also on the 9th house if planet Rahu is present here. After this, you have to be very careful with any kind of mischievous deed that you could be prompted at the spur of the moment, by which I mean to say that Rahu here can land you up in a kind of bad name, because Rahu is sitting in the 12th house to your 10th house of career. So it means that it can give you lots of changes in your career, it can give you sudden rise in your career, as well as it can give you some allegations also due to no fault of yours, or probably it can give you some allegations due to some fault of yours, because these people, they are the ones who could be prompted to go against the law. The 9th house is the house of law, so you could do some activities which are not lawful, and that can land you up in trouble. But friends, if you happen to have a benefic planet looking at your 9th house, then there would be some respite for sure. So always see a chart from a holistic point of view, especially when there is a malefic planet sitting in any given house. You must give importance to the dispositor and its strength also. So here I mean to say that if the 9th lord is well placed in your horoscope, if the 9th lord is aspected by a benefic planet, in that case Rahu cannot harm you, because your dispositor is pretty strong. So the results will always change if the dispositor is in good strength. Also give importance to the sign in which Rahu is sitting in your Navamsha chart. So friends, I mean to say that in the ninth house it is going to give you some harm. But friends, always remember that if a malefic planet is sitting in a benefic Navamsha, it will not harm you. The eventual results are going to be good for you. For example, if Rahu is sitting in your Navamsha of Taurus, that is its friend's Navamsha, because Venus is Rahu's friend. So it means even though planet Rahu is sitting in your ninth house, it is not going to harm you, because its ultimate results are going to be beneficial, because it is in a benefic Navamsha. So these little things should be kept in mind. After that, it is going to give you a very strong and a hard working life partner, because Rahu is sitting to the third house of your seventh. So your life partner is going to be very hard working, and you will have good affection towards your life partner. But this placement of Rahu is 8th to your second house. It means that there would be some sudden transformations in your family life. So it can give you some kind of setbacks related to the family life. But if there is a benefic aspecting your ninth house, then there also would be some kind of improvement on that regard, or some kind of healing that can happen on that regard. This placement of Rahu is also 6th to your 4th house. It means that you would be able to buy some landed property, and that also due to sudden luck, because the 4th house is about the lands, about the landed properties. So Rahu in the 9th house will give you sudden luck related to that. But at the same time, the 4th house is also about your relatives. So you have to be very careful of not upsetting your relatives, because this placement of Rahu can give you some misunderstandings with your relatives. So you have to be very sure that you do not do anything which can upset your close ones. Now this placement of Rahu is very good for foreign journeys, because the 9th house is about the foreign lands, long distance journeys. It can also give you a kind of guru who could be a foreigner. So it is very good placement if you want to study in foreign lands. This placement can also give you some kind of distant relationship with your father, or your father may not be having a very good kind of health, because Rahu is also about chronicity. So it means that you may have a father who may be having some health issues, and these health issues are very chronic in nature. Or you could have some kind of want of happiness with respect to your father, because Rahu always creates want of happiness. Rahu always creates some distance to the relative that is coming from the house where planet Rahu is sitting. Now Rahu here can also give you some kind of interest in foreign culture, in learning about the religious texts. You could be very passionate about that. You could be very obsessed about reading about Vedic studies, about the Vedic culture, and you could have a good knowledge about that, and you could also bring it forth to the world in a very different way. You could also use technology to express your knowledge about the Vedic studies. So that ability could also be found in a person who has Rahu here, because Rahu is also about the media world. Friends, Rahu here can cause delays in your luck, especially if the 9th lord is also under affliction. Or you can say that your luck would flourish if you happen to settle in a foreign land, because Rahu being a malefic planet causes slowdown in your luck, because the 9th house is related to that. At the same time, I would say this placement can also cause a kind of Pitra dosh, because Pitra dosh is caused when the trines are under affliction, or when planet Sun or planet Moon is afflicted. So it means that you have not done some kind of obligations which were due from your end towards your ancestors. So if you are facing some problems related to your luck or related to many achievements in your life, I would suggest you that in the morning when you take a bath, you should recite this mantra 3 times, Om Pitraye Namaha. That will balance out the dosha of Rahu in the 9th house. And or you could get a proper Pitradosh puja done through some pandit if you happen to have Rahu here. Another thing that you can do yourself is to pray to goddess Durga, because Ma Durga is associated with planet Rahu. So if you want to get over the negative results of planet Rahu, you should start praying to Ma Durga every day. So that will also nullify the negative effects of Rahu here in the 9th house. So friends, this was all about the placement of Rahu here. Stay connected and I will see you very soon with another video of mine, and thank you all for listening.